Toastmasters. I'd say that Michael is the godfather of HOD. He's a true professional, a gentleman with a very big heart. May I introduce you to our general evaluator for the evening, Michael.
They say that a picture is worth 1,000 words. But a picture is worth 1,000 words. Is words. And that bears thinking about. It is the joy of an evening like this, which commenced with our president. She started virtually on time. She is herself, as is Elsa. They are both, in the way they dress and present themselves, another justification for the word picturesque. Yeah. Jill's housekeeping was so smooth, she only heard some of the things she needed to handle seconds before she dealt with them. And not one of you would have known that. Nikita came up here and she delivered the mission statement. Now, my role is not just to congratulate, but it is to give suggestions as well. And in your desire to look relaxed, sure, you do. That's the equivalent of a guy putting his hand in his pocket. And it's one of our first lessons to ourselves. We look relaxed by being relaxed. Remember those proverbial bags of cushion in your hands, and just hold them, and you'll look relaxed. Elsa, super cool Elsa. If I have a suggestion for Elsa, and this is about suggestions, it is that when you're introducing people, introduce them with a raising of your voice each time. You have a very lovely, gentle manner, but you don't have the drama, which this role needs, as does every introduction. Whether you're evaluating somebody, whether you're the Toastmaster for the evening, let's bring some drama into that role, as well as the charm and the style. And that will lift it even more. It's already stunning. Bobby, our wild card. He comes up here and he tells us what his role is. and he holds up the cards and he says, but it's not football, is it? And you don't want a red. You don't want a red card. I just love his humour, as we all do. I'm going to move swiftly from all the introductions through to the evaluators. And I'm going to handle these by giving you some suggestions of my own, and I'm going to invite you from the floor to add to my suggestions if you have any. So as I'm describing my suggestions, think about the person the evaluator I'm talking about, and please raise your hands if you have something additional to say that will help that person. Tony on Satya, Punjabi girl. He quoted a line that Satya had used about her father, saying he wasn't even sure what it was. He said something about not treating badly. Actually, it wasn't about not treating badly at all. Satya, what was the exact quote? It was about your father telling you that nobody is worse than you are.
That's right.
Yeah.
Yes.
So you're no better than anybody else.
And you're not less than.
And you're, which is actually rather different from what you remembered. And so, do you recall now the difference? And I just think that something like that, if we're competing, and this is about competition, and next week I know you're going to be in competition, a little point like that would lose brownie points. So it's worth drawing to your attention, to everybody's attention. Accuracy does have value. It isn't key, but it has value. It adds. Does anybody have anything additional that they would be able to add to help Tony? Peter?
I have it in the form of a question.
Yeah. Yeah.
Is it better to give an evaluation with absolutely no notes, which there were 2 out of the 4 people here tonight had absolutely no notes, and get a little bit wrong, or to come up with the notes and refer to them from time to time and not get a little bit wrong?
Anybody have an answer? Jill?
Well, competition-wise, to do without notes, you go sky high. You know, you're already into the winning category, so they do mark you down for notes. I think unfairly myself, but I think discrete notes, why not? And I personally would prefer to use small notes and get it right than wing it.
So is it better to use notes and get it right than not to use notes, go sky high but get a little bit wrong?
Yes, in my opinion, I think.
I think if you get it wrong, it's wrong.
Yes.
So, I mean, doesn't matter how you deliver it. If it goes wrong, it's wrong. So, using the notes, not using a note, it's got to be right. So it shouldn't be an excuse for not using the notes.
Anybody else?
I think notes can possibly distract and detract from delivery as well.
Yes.
Because you end up and our pages all the way through. We're not thinking about it.
I think by having notes, you have a point of reference, which is always important. You know, if you're actually lost in your trail of thought or your speech, you can always refer back to your notes, and that will actually keep you on track with what you're actually saying. So I do feel that maybe having notes is a good idea for a point of reference.
Richard?
Yeah, I agree with all the points. I just guess an additional to no notes would be a sense of, well actually not even a sense of, it's about mastery. When someone's delivered a speech and you've heard what they said, and of course there's always going to be bits you may miss here even when you're listening attentively. It's about absorbing what they've said and being able to, you know, well, it's up here. And it's about mastery and the communication of that mastery to the audience, and that gives the audience confidence in your analysis. I'm not saying that's the case with me, but I'm just saying that's
Can I just add to that the one thing about not using notes is sometimes it allows you to take in what you're so busy writing that you miss. Whereas if you don't have notes, you get a feeling for it, and then you base it on some evidence that you've seen in the speech, and somehow it gives you a freedom that writing notes doesn't always do.
I'm going to guillotine this one and just finish it by saying that the wonderful thing about not using notes is that nobody knows what you left out. Only you do. So it doesn't actually matter. Mistakes matter, but leaving things out really don't matter. And the key thing about notes, the reason why we use notes, is our fear of forgetting something. And if we can throw that away, as Jill does, there's no question about the supremacy of somebody who delivers it without notes. Richard on Sinner. Richard came up here and he committed one of my favourite sins.
Really do it?
No, that's... I have a new favourite. And it's the word used as a noun. Recommend. A recommend. A recommend. It's not even American, it's Toastmasters. It's Toastmasteries. And with the word is recommendation. And in order to avoid the cliche of the whole idea, I've actually moved to the word suggestion. And I find that by making myself use the word suggestion, it's actually much softer as well. It's kinder, it's more readily accepted and absorbed. And so my recommendation to you is to use the word suggestion.
Recommendation taken.
You use two words almost consecutively in the same moment, congruent and harmonious. And I'm going to invite people in the room to tell me what they mean. Something. Oh, yeah, look how slow that is.
I have no idea what to do. I just thought it
Mike,
sounded.
before I remind you, is
Well, Bobby knows. Come on, Bobby.
oh, yes.
Am I out of time?
Oh, yeah.
Brilliant.
Well,